Hello and welcome. First ever mic'd up version. So today we're gonna run through my regular warm-up routine that I've started doing. Obviously, shoes off, and because of all the injuries I had, it's usually about 20 minutes or so. Obviously, we'll go through the mobility routine that I usually do every single day, and then we'll jump into some basic calisthenics training. Um, but yeah, just a lot of stretches, a lot of mobility stuff, warming your whole body up so you don't get injured again. All right, I'll catch you guys in a hot minute. Whew, just feeling a little tight today. Yeah, I had a leg day yesterday and not that good for my body. I don't know why. I've had like leg injuries for the past half a year now. I just got my groin healed and it took like 3 months. And now I'm feeling it again. I went for a run on Sunday and kind of just opened it up a little bit more. And it just it's really tight. So probably gonna take it easy on my right leg for the next couple weeks, just so that I can heal again. But yeah, I'll catch you guys at the mobility workout. All right, mat down. So I usually like to start moving my legs like this a little bit. Slowly warm it up a little bit. Feel if any parts of my leg is a little bit tighter than usual. And it's really good for my ankle stability. All right. And then I usually try to open up my back, my upper body, the rotational force. And then here we go. Start opening up the groin into a full rotational stretch. Just really reach your back right here and then rotate, keeping your base stable and controlled, and just rotating your arm and your lower back. And then from there, we're going into a more of a hamstring stretch. Just really feeling it. And pivot into a lateral stretch. And then now we go back, repeat everything again, but in reverse order. And then I like to do this stretch for my lower back. So tilt this way first. Really stretch out the left side of your body. And then it's going to be a little bit tighter on the other side. Just really feeling it. And then it's pretty much the left side. And then we repeat, rinse and repeat everything for the right side. So, went to this yoga class this past Saturday, and I found a lot of the movements that they did are similar to some of the stretches that I've been doing in real life. And it was harder than I thought, because I consider myself a pretty healthy person who is relatively fit, but I was still like sweating and struggling a little bit throughout the workout, throughout yoga. And I felt really good afterwards. Like, I usually don't do that much exercise on the weekends because technically they're my rest days. But something simple like that, just body weight stuff, really helps me kickstart a weekend. And then I feel like going out more and doing stuff instead of just staying home and hunch over my computer, stuff like that. So that was the first part of the mobility stretch, warm up, whatever you call it. And then second part, a lot simpler. It's pretty much a squat position. Hands to your toe, to your feet, and then really stretching out that hamstring. So I usually go to 10 and then just really making sure that my hamstring is getting straight. And then on the last one, try to open it up like this. Do a little frog stretch, really opening up that groin. This really helps me with my legs. It helps me push a lot heavier. And because I do a lot of single leg movements, focusing on the stability and the control, making sure that my body is warmed up is really important to prevent injuries. And I would consider myself injury prone. So definitely I take an emphasis on just stretching and warming up properly, making sure your body feels good and you listen to it. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, get some water, make sure you hydrate, And then we're gonna proceed to do one round of a quick calisthenics warm up routine to help me really, really warm up my body and also be prepared for the next level of calisthenics by building that foundation. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys after the water break. Alright, get your trusty bands out. If you don't have any, I highly recommend it. I use it a lot. We're gonna really make sure your upper body is warmed up before you jump into any lift, any exercise, any movements. I've been especially keen on really, really making sure that I'm warming up. Sometimes I'm over warmed up where I'm actually sweating too much, getting a little bit exhausted just from warming up. But I'm better. I lean towards being safe. Just because I already have so many injuries. So, tore my rotator cuff about 5 years ago now. Never got the surgery because my mom was really opposed to it. So, sometimes I can still feel it. It's been really good. I've been really just keeping an eye on it. Haven't dislocated my arm from that in a while, like almost 2 years now. I remember at first I would just be like going for a swim or throwing a football, and then whether it was on like a stroke or when I'm throwing it, my arm might just like slip out and I will slip back in because the tendon that's kind of controlling, making sure that my body, my bone, my shoulder bone stays in place is like completely torn. So now it just like when it slips out, it just slips back in. It doesn't like stay there, and that's worse than when you dislocate it and then it stays out and then stays dislocated according to the doctor that I looked at, that I went to. So I've really been making sure that I'm warming it up properly and not doing stuff that will hurt it and really protecting it and treating it as like a weaker part of my body. It's a lot of lighter weight to, but still like a lot of consistent work to make sure that I built muscles around it and a lot of shoulder movements before I know I'm gonna be using my shoulder to warm it up, and just really listening to my body. And I've also been dealing with a ton of wrist problems in the past year or so. And I've been doing a lot of wrist mobility warm-ups and stuff as well, and it's been really helping. I can really feel it. So do your warm-ups, boys and girls. if you don't want to end up a broken old man like me, don't take long. See how long that took? Just a couple minutes. And you won't regret it. It's too late. If it's too late when you like get injured. So I'd rather prevent it from happening. Because usually you guys can probably like take less time than I do to warm up. But once you're at my level of injured, it takes way longer to warm up. And I was watching C-Bum's video where he was lifting with this other guy from Europe, I guess. And then C-Bum was saying that usually like back when he was still in his early 20s, he didn't like warm up at all either. But now at age 28, I think that's how C-Bum is, something like that. He really was focusing on just warming up, making sure your body is fully warmed up because he has so much injuries as well throughout the years. So even C-Bum warms up, takes like 20 to 30 minutes to warm up. Why shouldn't you? But yeah, we're gonna go into our first movement just because we're here already. Doing some pull-ups. Make sure you find a bar that's the right height for you. I like to hand there for a second first, just to stretch on my lower back. This is a really good stretch to make sure you decompress your spine. And then make sure you're bracing your core. And Chris Harriet tells you to try to point your toe outwards a little bit so you engage your core, and make sure you go all the way up and then all the way down, and make sure you control the eccentric movement. And this is really going to help you progress a lot faster than doing like halfway warm-ups, halfway pull-ups and stuff like that. And it doesn't even matter like if you can't do a lot of them at first. You just gotta keep going, and eventually they're gonna feel a lot easier. But just make sure you don't overdo it and the form doesn't go whack. And make sure you listen to your body. Like, it gets harder for me because I can feel it on the outside of my wrist. It starts to like hurt a little bit when I'm doing it. And that's another reason why you shouldn't get hurt. Why you should try not to get hurt and warm up, and not ego lift. So we're gonna do some pull-ups. So one thing that I saw was you want to push into a scapular. And that's what's gonna stabilize you when you're doing a lot of the holds and the calisthenics movements. So I've been starting with some scapular push-ups, and then once you feel it warmed up, just go do some full range motion push-ups, making sure your body is very tight and you're bracing that core. And go all the way down and push all the way up. And I like to pause a little bit at the bottom of movement. And just really sinking into that rhythm. And the better your form is, the more you progress. And it doesn't matter if you can't do a lot of them at first. Just gotta keep making sure the form comes first. And that also helps you hit the muscles that you're trying to target and prevent a lot of injuries. Obviously, we're talking a lot about injuries today. It's just because coming from someone who has a lot of them, it really sucks to have them. So definitely make sure your form is good and listen to your body. And then I usually do 1 to 2 rounds of each for warm-ups, and then jump into whatever lift I have that day. So I'm already really warmed up and a little bit gassed out. Makes the workout a little bit harder as well. But just making sure that you're not going in too cold. All right, one more round. And just really explode out of that. But yeah, something really simple like that. If you just keep doing it and making sure that your form is good and you're hitting that full range of motion, it's really gonna help you progress on whatever lift that you're doing. Yeah. And then obviously, water break, very important. Can't stress this enough. Hydration. C-Bum drinks about a gallon of water before he lifts so that he can provide his muscles with enough water. And I try to follow that. Maybe not a gallon, but half a gallon before my workouts. And also going to the bathroom in between your sets. It's a good rest. Gets you off your phone. And yeah, I'll catch you guys after some water. Last movement here. It's a pretty essential one. It's very important. You use it in almost every single calisthenic movement. So I've been told. And I hope they're right, because it is a pain in the ass. And for this, I usually just do 1 round. If you can't do it, you can cut it down into 2 rounds. So without further ado, Is it further or further ado or further of do? I don't speak English, so correct me, please. So yeah, without further ado, it's the hollow holds. So there's a lot of different variation with it, and I kind of just picked the one that I saw first. So my mic died right here, and so pretty much what I'm explaining here in the video is that the pretty much the concept is when you're laying down, you are holding yourself up with this small area, the small of your back on your lower back area, and here I'm gonna be showing you. There's a little gap right here when you're laying down, and you can feel it right here, and that's pretty much where you're going to be holding your whole body with. So make sure you are tensing your core all around in the front and in the back, and also tensing up your whole body, your legs and your arms and your back, so that you're literally in a little half circle, like a curved position, and your only point of support is your lower back. And usually it gets really hard and it's really tough, and I usually go for about a minute, and it helps with a lot of the holds that you will be doing in the calisthenics movements. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this little ASMR mic'd up video. I know it's a little bit long, but I am just really excited to test out my mic, which I didn't realize it wasn't fully charged, so it died halfway through. But regardless, it was really fun to test out the mic and do a little different fitness video for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is TyLifeFitness. I will see you guys on another video. Peace.